Hello, this is Dalek the Supreme with another Transformers action figure review for Transformers Age of Extinction Voyager Class Grimlock. If you wanted one, then you probably already have one, but maybe this review will give you a second mind. Maybe you'll think it's, hey, maybe you'll think, hey, this thing actually looks better than I gave it credit for. I'll take a look at it, I guess. Or you'll go like, or maybe you have one and you're like, yeah, I shouldn't have bought this thing. Well, no, if you already had it, then you should probably already have decided what you think of it yourself. Tyrannosaurus Rex mode, highly detailed, nice green eyes. They were red in the movie, but I like them being green better because, can you see that? Yeah, they're kind of dark. I don't have good lighting. It's copper instead of gray. Don't know why they made it. I heard they made the Dinobots different colors in the toy line just to give them more character. And considering they were just, and I have to agree with that, since a lot of robots in the Michael Bay movies, especially the Decepticons, have suffered from being silver or gray, and that's gotten kind of boring after a while. So it's nice to have it's nice to have characters that are gray in the movie being given more color in the toy line. In fact, I actually think that's what they did with Jazz and Starscream in the first movie. They gave them more exclusive figures that weren't gray. They were like Generation 1 colors. And those look pretty cool. For the time, at least. Anyway, comparisons. He looks... Oh, sorry. Articulation, I should do. Push this button and his jaw closes. You can pivot this thing if you want, but I don't like to do that. And it makes him look silly. His arms go out. They're on ball joints. You kind of have to hold this in while you move his arms. Oh well. Legs. Out. In. Bend. Twisty turning at the knee. Very articulate legs. Very good articulation of the legs. No tail articulation. But with the transformation scheme he has, that is 100% understandable. And I kind of don't like the idea. And I don't really like the idea of having to remove the tail just to get like creature in robot mode, because the tail gets easily lost, and like if you're selling out on eBay, you can't. Sometimes they won't have the tail, and it makes it hard to transform them. Anywho, comparing him with his other fellow Dinobot Strafe, they look good together. Different colors, yes, but they still, considering the actual dinosaurs I guess they scale well. The Pteranodon, I think the Pteranodon would be a bit... Oh, actually, they say Strafe is a Pteranodon in the toy line, but I think he looks more like a Quetzalcoatlus, because Quetzalcoatlus had these really short crests on the back of their heads with this sort of design. Well, Pteranodons just didn't have this crest on their front of their heads, just long crests on the back. And I like a Quetzalcoatlus. Sorry, a Quetzalcoatlus had a wingspan about as long as a T-Rex. The scale isn't exactly perfect, but this is Transformers. In the original show they had like Megatron, a 30-foot robot, transformed from an itty-bitty handgun. I mean, yeah. Can't fault him for not wanting to go with scale. Moving on to the... it can store his tail in this mode, or his weapon in this mode. Folds over and becomes a tail extension. It does look kind of ridiculous, but you can do that, and I appreciate that you can store the weapon in his beast mode. Moving on to transformation. Flip his horns up. So now he looks like a bunny rabbit Grimlock. Flip his arms against his ribs. Hold his ribs out. Spread the legs apart so to give them room. Roll the legs, or the tail, roll it down. Fold these at the tip of it down to form the feet, and split them apart as they just did when I did that. Fold the chest down. Fold these ribs into his ankles like this on their double hinges, to form his warrior skirt, because only real warriors wear skirts. flip the heels, pull this out, revealing his hands, swerve it around, tab them into these grooves. Oh, see, here the groove, and the same on this side. Push this thing here back, fold it against his head, lift it up so you can pull it out without breaking the tabs, split it apart, and fold the halves out, fold this thing through them, and these things fold up to become shoulder pads and push his head forward in the process so he isn't looking up at nothing, because Grimlock's huge, like the biggest Transformer still alive in these movies, since Devastator is dead now, and yeah. And now he is in his robot mode. Very good detail. The detail is decent. I love. It still has that nice detail I love about movieverse figures. Still, it's kind of a little more simple. Design is a little more simple and more smooth. That's all right. I guess it fits in with other generations better. Kind of noticed the same thing on. I kind of noticed the same thing on High Octane Bumblebee here. I don't remember if I pointed it out in the review. But anyway, you have Grimlock there. You have an Autobot logo on his stomach. If you can see it there. You can see the green eyes better now. Either they're no longer eyes, but lights on his shoulder pads, I guess. He has a warrior skirt. Unfortunately, T-Rex jaw just hangs off this stuff just hangs off the back. I mean, it's not like but if you're a collector and you're just going to display him facing forward or in beast mode, like T-Rex mode, that it won't matter to you. Articulation bends the legs, sort of pivots the feet. You can count that. But though I wouldn't do that because they're kind of loose if they're not tabbed in. They bend outward, kind of hindered by the skirt, but what are you gonna do about that? No waist articulation. The shoulders, they go up, down, kind of restricted by the shoulder pad. Swivel, bend, can sort of give them wrist articulation, but it involves untabbing the leg, and it kind of looks stupid when it's hanging out. But what are you gonna do? It's same with the other, and his head can look down, sort of look up, but not too much because of the backpack. But then again, he doesn't need to. His Grimlock is huge. Turn his head. And then, now we get to, he has of course a weapon, mace. Very basic detail, but not bad. Big and bashing. Watch out, because when smashing Decepticons with it, didn't do that time, but it doesn't really, this thing is very loose. The end of the mace is very loose. Shake it around, or if I was with it too much and it will pop off. Luckily it pops back on, but it's still loose, and that's still unfortunate. Size comparisons. Dark Moon Voyager Optimus Prime, in the absence of an Age of Extinction Voyager Optimus Prime, because they don't have him. They're about the same size. Grimlock's a little taller though, not just because of the shoulder pads. Get in a Generations Voyager. Soundwave's taller, and getting the High Octane Bumblebee back. Sorry, High Octane Bumblebee back in the shot. Well, this is deluxe to Voyager scale now, and I'm pretty sure it would work better if I had the time to transform straight, or had a Voyager Class Autobot vehicle. Would I recommend this guy? Absolutely. He's not perfect. He's not the best Grimlock figure out there, but I think he's the two movie Grimlocks we got, Leader and Voyager. He's the best. Nice detail, very good figure. I recommend him.